The repair shop sat at the edge of New Sol Colony, far from the busy center. Old ships and broken machines filled the yard outside. Inside, the smell of oil and hot metal hung in the air. Tay wiped sweat from his forehead as he fixed an engine. His tools clinked against metal as he worked late into the night. "Dad, look at this," called June, Tay's 10-year-old son. The boy sat at a small desk in the corner of the shop. Books and papers covered the surface. He held up a drawing of a spaceship he had made instead of doing his math homework. Tay smiled. "Very nice. But finish your schoolwork first, then more drawing." June sighed and picked up his pencil again. The clock on the wall showed it was almost midnight. Most people in the colony were asleep, but Tay had a job to finish by morning. "Just one more hour, then we go home," Tay promised. The quiet night broke suddenly with a loud alarm. Red lights flashed across the sky. Tay dropped his wrench and ran to the door. June followed close behind. "Look!" June pointed up. A ship cut through the night sky. Smoke poured from one side. The ship wobbled as it flew, clearly damaged. Emergency lights blinked on its hull. "It's going to crash," Tay said. He grabbed June's shoulders. "Stay here." "Do not leave the shop," Tay ran outside. The ship was trying to land at the small port across from his shop. It hit the ground hard, skidding across the landing pad. Sparks flew as metal scraped against the ground. When it finally stopped, the side door opened with a hiss. People in white coats stumbled out. They coughed as smoke followed them from the ship. One woman carried a metal box close to her chest. She looked around wildly until she saw Tay standing there. Can you help us?" she called, running toward him. The others followed. They all wore the same uniform with a patch that read Galactic Research Team. "What happened?" Tay asked. "Are you hurt?" "Raiders attacked our research station," the woman said. Her face was dirty with soot. "We barely escaped. I'm Dr. Min. We need a place to hide until help comes." Before Tay could answer, a strange sound came from the metal box. It was like a bird's chirp, but deeper and more musical. "What's in there?" Tay asked, pointing at the box. Dr. Min held it tighter. "Our most important research. It's why the raiders attacked us." The box moved in her arms. Something inside was alive. "Dad." June's voice came from behind. The boy had not listened. He stood in the doorway of the shop, eyes wide with curiosity. "I told you to stay inside," Tay said. The box chirped again, louder this time. The lid shook, then popped open. Dr. Min tried to close it, but something pushed its way out. A small head appeared. It had blue scales that shimmered in the light. Two tiny horns curved back from its forehead. Its eyes were large and golden, with slits for pupils like a cat's. "Is that—" Tay couldn't finish his sentence. He had seen pictures, but never a real one. "A stellar dragon," Dr. Min confirmed. "A baby. The last one from our research station." The creature chirped again. It looked around at the humans, then fixed its gaze on June. The boy and the dragon stared at each other. Something passed between them, though no words were spoken. "Wow," June whispered. The dragon made a happy sound. Then, before anyone could stop it, it jumped from the box. Its small wings opened, not yet strong enough to fly, but enough to glide the short distance to June. It landed on the boy's shoulder and wrapped its tail around his neck like a scarf. "It likes you," one of the other scientists said. Sounding surprised, Dr. Min stepped forward. "That's impossible. Stellar dragons don't bond with humans. They barely tolerate us." The dragon nuzzled against June's cheek. The boy laughed and reached up to touch its scales. "He's so warm," June said. "She," Dr. Min corrected. "It's a female hatchling. Only about 2 weeks old." Tay didn't know what to do. The dragon seemed happy with his son, but this was clearly a valuable and rare creature. "You should take it back," he said to Dr. Min. She shook her head. "We can't separate them now. Look." The dragon had closed its eyes. It seemed to be falling asleep on June's shoulder. A soft blue glow appeared where the dragon's scales touched the boy's skin. "It's forming a bond," another scientist said. "I've never seen this before." "What does that mean?" Tay asked, worried. Dr. Min looked troubled. "We don't know. This is new territory." More alarms sounded in the distance. Colony security was responding to the crash. "We need to get inside," Dr. Min said. "The raiders might still be tracking us." Tay led everyone into his shop. He closed and locked the heavy doors. The scientists huddled together, talking in low voices. June sat on a stool, the dragon still perched on his shoulder. "Can I keep her?" June asked his father. "It's not a pet," Tay said. "These people were protecting it." "Her," June corrected. And she has a name, Tay raised an eyebrow. How do you know that? June touched the dragon's head gently. She told me. Not with words, but I can feel it. Her name is Biol. Biol? Tay repeated. That means star in Old Korean. Yes, June said. Because she came from the stars. Dr. Min approached them. She held a small device that beeped as she moved it near the dragon. This is remarkable, she said. The dragon Biol is emitting a telepathic field. It seems to be centered on your sun. Is it dangerous? Tay asked. We don't think so. But we need to study this. Stellar dragons are the most intelligent non-human species we've discovered. They can live for hundreds of years. Some say they have powers we don't understand. Colony security arrived outside. More people in uniforms entered the shop. They asked many questions. The scientists explained about their research station and the attack. They talked about how important the dragon was. Hours passed. Morning came. Officials decided to move everyone to a secure location in the colony center. They prepared a special container for the dragon. Time to go, Dr. Min said to June. We need to put Biol in this carrier. June shook his head. She doesn't want to go in there. We need to transport her safely, Dr. Min insisted. When they tried to take Biol from June's shoulder, the dragon hissed. Her scales changed color from blue to a deep red. She clung tighter to the boy. She's afraid, June said. She lost her family. She doesn't want to lose me too. Dr. Min looked at her colleagues, then at Tai. This is unusual. The bond is stronger than we thought. What do we do? Tay asked. For now, they stay together, Dr. Min decided. You and your son will come with us to the secure facility. We need to understand this bond. As they left the shop, June carried Biol in his arms. The dragon had calmed down, her scales returning to blue. She looked up at the boy with trust in her golden eyes. No one knew then how important this strange friendship would become. No one could guess that the fate of the colony, perhaps of all humans, would soon rest on the bond between a mechanic's son and a baby dragon from the stars. 1 week passed since the scientists and Biol arrived at New Seoul Colony. The colony leaders gave Tai and June a new place to stay. It was a small apartment inside the science building. The walls were white and plain. The furniture was simple. It did not feel like home, but it was safe. Dr. Min and her team set up a special room next to the apartment. They filled it with machines to study Biol. The room also had a special bed for the dragon. It was made of soft material that looked like her natural habitat. The scientists spent hours watching Biol and taking notes. Biol grew quickly. When she first arrived, she was the size of a small cat. Now just 1 week later, she was as big as a large dog. Her blue scales shined brighter each day. The tiny horns on her head grew longer. Her wings stretched wider when she opened them. Dragons grow faster than any creature we know, Dr. Min told Tay. They stood in the observation room, watching through a window as June played with Biol. In 1 year, she will be as big as your repair shop, Tay frowned. What happens then? We can't keep her in the colony. We don't know yet, Dr. Min admitted. No one has raised a stellar dragon before. The ones we studied were already adults. Inside the playroom, June threw a ball. Biol jumped and caught it in her mouth. Her tail wagged like a happy dog's. When she dropped the ball, a small flame came out with it. The ball melted a little. Be careful with the fire, Biol, June said, laughing. The dragon made a sound like a sorry chirp. She nudged the melted ball with her nose. It's okay, June said. He patted her head. We'll get another one. Dr. Min wrote something in her notes. The fire breathing has started. That's earlier than we expected. A tall man in a dark uniform entered the observation room. He had many badges on his chest. His name was Director Kang, the head of colony security. Any progress? He asked Dr. Min. The bond grows stronger each day, she said. The dragon responds to June's commands. She understands his words. Director Kang watched the boy and dragon with narrow eyes. And the telepathic connection? Still there, but we don't know what information passes between them. Director Kang turned to Tay. Has your son mentioned anything unusual? Any new knowledge he shouldn't have? Tay shook his head. He's just a normal boy who loves his new friend. That friend is the last royal stellar dragon we know of, Director Kang said. His voice was cold. Her species built technology we still don't understand. The raiders who attacked the research station want her for weapons. We need to know what's in her mind. She's just a baby, Tay argued. A baby with the genetic memory of an ancient species, Director Kang replied. Tomorrow we start new tests. More direct ones. After the director left, Dr. Min looked worried. He's pushing too hard, she told Tae. The bond between June and Biol is delicate. We should let it develop naturally. That night, Tae tucked June into bed. Biol had her own sleeping area in the corner of the room. It was filled with soft, warm sand that dragons like to sleep in. Time for bed, both of you, Tae said. Biol, to your bed now. The dragon looked at him with her golden eyes. She was curled up next to June on his bed. She didn't move. Biol, you heard Dad, June said. Go to your bed. The dragon made a sad sound. She nuzzled closer to June. It's okay, Dad, June said. She can sleep here tonight, Tae sighed. The scientists want her to sleep in her own bed. It's better for her development, please, June asked. She gets scared at night. Tae couldn't say no to his son's pleading face. Fine, just for tonight. He turned off the light and closed the door. What he didn't tell June was that cameras in the room recorded everything. The scientists watched June and Biol all the time, even when they slept. In the middle of the night, an alarm woke Tae. Red lights flashed in the hallway. He jumped out of bed and ran to June's room. When he opened the door, he froze. June was floating above his bed. A blue light surrounded his body. Biol lay next to the floating boy, her eyes glowing the same blue color. Neither of them seemed aware that anything strange was happening. Dr. Min rushed into the room. Don't wake them, she whispered to Tae. We need to record this. My son is floating in the air, Tae said. What's happening to him? We think they're sharing dreams, Dr. Min explained. She held up a device that beeped rapidly. The telepathic connection is strongest during sleep. That's why Biol refuses to sleep without him. Is it hurting him? Tae asked. No, his vital signs are normal. Better than normal, actually. Dr. Min showed Tae another screen. His brain activity is incredible. It's like he's learning while he sleeps. They watched for an hour. The blue glow never faded. June continued to float gently above his bed. Biol's tail twitched sometimes like she was seeing something exciting in her dreams. Finally, as morning approached, the glow dimmed. June slowly lowered back onto his bed. Biol's eyes returned to their normal golden color. Both continued to sleep peacefully. Now we know, Dr. Min whispered. This is why the bond is so important to Biol. Dragons pass knowledge through dreams. She's teaching him. Teaching him what? Tae asked. Everything her species knows, Dr. Min said. Her eyes were wide with wonder. Stellar dragons carry the memories of their ancestors. All their knowledge, their history, their technology. She's sharing it with June. At breakfast, June seemed normal. He ate his food quickly, eager to play with Biol again. The dragon sat beside his chair, eating raw meat from a bowl. Did you sleep well? Tae asked his son. Yes, June said. I had amazing dreams. I saw stars up close. I flew through space without a ship. Tae and Dr. Min exchanged looks. What else did you see? Dr. Min asked casually. June thought for a moment. I saw Biol's homeworld. It has 3 suns and rings like the planet Saturn. There were big dragons everywhere. They built cities in the mountains. Dr. Min typed notes into her tablet. Did they talk to you in the dream? Not with words, June said. But I understood them anyway. They showed me things. What kind of things? Director Kang asked. He had entered the room quietly. June looked uncomfortable. He glanced at Biol, who had stopped eating. The dragon stared at Director Kang with unblinking eyes. Just dragon things, June said. How to fly. How to breathe fire safely. Director Kang didn't believe him. We need to run tests today, he told Dr. Min. I want to know exactly what information is passing between them. The tests began after breakfast. They put June in a room with many machines attached to his head. Biol had to stay outside. She didn't like this. She scratched at the door and made sad crying sounds. Inside the test room, June also became upset. I want Biol, he called. She's scared. Just a few more minutes, Dr. Min said gently. We need to check your brain patterns. But June grew more distressed. His heart rate increased. Sweat covered his face. At the same time, Biol's cries became louder. She rammed her body against the door. Stop the test, Tae demanded. Something's wrong. We need more data, Director Kang insisted. Suddenly, the lights in the room flickered. The machines beeped wildly. June's eyes glowed blue just like they had during the night. Biol says stop, June said. His voice sounded different, deeper. Biol says we are not your test subjects. The door to the test room burst open, metal bent and twisted as if made of paper. Biol rushed in, now glowing with the same blue light. She ran to June and pressed her head against his. The machines in the room sparked and shut down. The lights went out completely, then came back on a moment later. Everyone stared in shock. A 10-year-old boy and a baby dragon had just shown power no one expected. Now we know, Dr. Min whispered to Tay. The bond goes both ways. She's not just teaching him. He's changing her too. Director Kang looked afraid for the first time. What have we created here? Tay walked to his son and placed a protective hand on his shoulder. We didn't create anything. They chose each other. The truth was becoming clear. This was just the beginning of something much bigger than anyone had imagined. 2 weeks passed since the incident in the test room. The scientists changed their approach after that day. They no longer tried to separate June and Biol. Instead, they watched and learned from the pair. Biol continued to grow at an amazing rate. She was now the size of a small horse. Her wings had grown strong enough for short flights. Her blue scales now had gold flecks that sparkled in the light. The horns on her head curved elegantly backward, and small spikes ran down her spine. The colony leaders gave Tai and June a new home. It was a small house with a large yard surrounded by a high fence. This gave Biol room to move and practice flying. The house had special doors and hallways made wide enough for the growing dragon. Dr. Min visited every day to check on them. She brought less equipment now and spent more time just talking with June and watching Biol. The bond is changing them both, she told Tay one afternoon. They sat on the porch while June and Biol played in the yard. June's brain scans show new patterns we've never seen in humans before, and Biol is developing differently than other dragons we studied. Is it dangerous? Tay asked. This was always his first question. Not dangerous, Dr. Min said, just different. June's learning abilities have increased. His teachers say he's solving math problems meant for students twice his age. In the yard, June threw a ball high into the air. Biol leaped up, her wings spreading wide. She caught the ball and glided back down. When she landed, she dropped the ball at June's feet and made a happy chirping sound. Watch this, Dad, June called. He held up his hand with his palm facing Biol. The dragon sat down immediately. Then June made a circular motion with his finger. Biol rolled over onto her back, wings spread out. Good girl, June said, rubbing her belly. Biol made a sound like a purr. They practice every day, Tay told Dr. Min. June says they're learning to work as a team. Dr. Min wrote this down in her notes. Director Kang will be interested in that, Tay frowned. He still thinks Biol is a weapon, doesn't he? The stellar dragons built ships that could fold space, Dr. Min said quietly. They had technology we can barely understand. And yes, some of it was used for war. The director isn't wrong to be cautious. That night after dinner, June sat at the kitchen table drawing pictures. Biol lay curled on the floor beside him, her tail twitching as she dozed. Tay washed the dishes and watched his son. What are you drawing? He asked. June held up the paper. It showed a complex diagram with circles and lines connecting them. Strange symbols filled the spaces between the lines. It's a map, June said. A map of what? Dragon space, June replied, as if this was obvious. These are the places where Biol's people lived before they left. Tay dried his hands and sat down next to his son. Left for where? June shrugged. Another galaxy, I think. The old dragons decided humans weren't ready yet. But they left some eggs behind to see if things changed. Tay felt a chill run down his spine. June, how do you know this? Biol shows me in our dreams, June said. He continued drawing, adding more symbols to the map. She says her egg was special. Royal blood. That's why the raiders wanted it so badly. Tay picked up one of the finished drawings. It showed a machine he didn't recognize. The design was like nothing he had seen before, with curved parts that seemed to flow into each other. What's this one? He asked. A star engine, June said without looking up. It uses the energy between stars to make power. Biol says humans will figure it out someday, but we're not ready yet. Tay carefully collected the drawings. I think Dr. Min would like to see these. The next morning, Dr. Min arrived with 2 other scientists. They spread June's drawings across the table and studied them with amazement. These designs are incredible, one scientist said. Some of these concepts match theories our best physicists are working on. But others are completely new, Dr. Min added. This could advance our technology by centuries. June sat nearby eating breakfast. Bayal rested her head on the table next to him, watching everyone with her intelligent golden eyes. June, Dr. Min said gently, can you ask Bayal why she's sharing this information with you? June looked at the dragon. They stared at each other for a moment. No words were spoken, but something passed between them. She says it's time, June finally said. The old dragons were wrong about humans. Some humans can be trusted. Trusted with what? Dr. Min asked. The knowledge, June replied. Bayal says her people will come back someday, but only if humans prove they're ready. She's testing us. The scientists exchanged worried looks. Dr. Min leaned forward. June, does Bayal know about the raiders? The ones who attacked the research station? June nodded. She knows. They've stolen dragon eggs before. They break them open to get the... He paused, looking for the right word. The brain crystals. Dragons have special crystals in their heads that store memories. The raiders use them to power weapons. Tay felt sick. They kill baby dragons for parts? Yes, June said sadly. Bayal is the last royal egg that hatched. The raiders have the others. That's why she's scared sometimes. She knows they're looking for her. Dr. Min stood up quickly. I need to tell Director Kang about this. If the raiders tracked the research ship here... She didn't finish the sentence, but everyone understood. The colony could be in danger. That afternoon, security around the house increased. Armed guards patrolled the fence. Director Kang himself came to speak with Tay. We've detected unusual ship movements at the edge of our system, he said. His face was grim. It could be nothing, but we're taking precautions. What kind of precautions? Tay asked. We're preparing to move the dragon to a secure facility, Director Kang said. Underground with better protection. You can't separate them, Tay argued. You saw what happened last time. The boy comes too, of course, Director Kang said. But we move tonight. Pack only what you need. After the director left, Tay found June and Bayal in the backyard. The dragon was flying in circles above June, her wings strong and graceful now. When she landed, June hugged her neck. We have to leave tonight, Tay told his son. The director thinks we might not be safe here. June nodded, not looking surprised. Bayal knows. She felt them coming. Felt who coming? The bad people, June said. The ones who want to hurt dragons. That night, as they packed their things, Tay noticed June was very quiet. The boy moved slowly, as if deep in thought. Bayal stayed close to him, more alert than usual. Her head turned at every small sound, and her tail twitched nervously. Are you okay? Tay asked his son. Bayal is worried, June said. She thinks the bad people are closer than the director knows. As if to confirm this, the lights in the house suddenly went out. Outside, they heard shouting and the sound of weapons firing. Tay grabbed June's hand. We need to hide. But June stood still, his eyes beginning to glow with that now familiar blue light. Bayal's eyes glowed too, and she moved to stand between them and the door. It's too late to hide, Dad, June said calmly. But don't worry. Bayal and I have been practicing for this. The front door burst open. Men in black armor rushed in with weapons raised. They stopped when they saw Bayal. Her mouth opened to show glowing blue fire building inside. Step away from the dragon, kid, one raider ordered. June didn't move. Instead, he placed his hand on Bayal's neck. The blue glow spread from his hand across her scales. You shouldn't have come here, June said. His voice sounded older, wiser. You shouldn't have hurt her family. What happened next would change everything. The raiders filled the doorway of the small house. Their black armor made them look like shadows. The leader pointed his weapon at June. Last chance, kid. Move away from the dragon, he said. Tay tried to pull his son back, but June stood firm. The blue glow around him grew brighter. Bayal's scales now shimmered with the same light. Her wings spread wide in the small space, knocking over a lamp. You killed her brothers and sisters, June said. His voice remained calm. You broke open their eggs and took the crystals from their heads. The raider leader laughed. Smart kid. Those crystals are worth more than this entire colony. Now step aside. Instead of moving, June closed his eyes. The blue light pulsed once, very bright. Then every weapon in the raiders' hands grew hot. The men yelled and dropped their guns. The metal had melted into twisted shapes. What the... The leader stared at his ruined weapon. Bayal opened her mouth. A ball of blue fire formed between her jaws. It wasn't the normal orange fire of a regular dragon. This flame swirled like a tiny galaxy. Run, June said simply. The raiders turned and fled. Bayal's fire shot past them, hitting the ground outside. Where it touched, the earth turned to glass. Tay stood frozen, staring at his son. June, how did you do that? Before June could answer, Dr. Min rushed in. Her clothes were torn and dirty. Blood ran from a cut on her forehead. They attacked the main gate, she said, breathing hard. There are too many of them. Director Kang is trying to hold them off, but we need to get you and Bayeol to the emergency bunker. They ran out the back door. The night sky glowed red from fires burning throughout the colony. Ships hovered above, their searchlights cutting through smoke. People ran in all directions, some carrying children or bags of belongings. Dr. Min led them through back streets. Bayeol moved quickly despite her size, staying close to June. The dragon's eyes scanned everything, alert for danger. The bunker is under the science building, Dr. Min explained as they ran. It was built to withstand attacks. When they reached the main square, they found chaos. Raiders fought with colony security forces. Laser fire crisscrossed the open space. Buildings burned. In the center of it all stood Director Kang with a group of defenders. There, Dr. Min pointed to a heavy metal door across the square. That's the entrance to the bunker. They would have to cross the battle to reach it. Tae pulled June behind a fallen statue for cover. We'll never make it, he said. June looked at Bayeol. The dragon lowered her body. We can fly across, the boy said. Bayeol can carry us. She's not big enough for all of us, Dr. Min said. Then she'll take Dad and me first. Then come back for you, June decided. Before anyone could argue, June climbed onto Bayeol's back. He reached down for his father's hand. Come on, Dad. Tae hesitated, then took his son's hand and climbed up behind him. Bayeol's wings opened wide. With a powerful jump, she leaped into the air. Her wings beat hard, lifting them above the battle. Raiders below noticed them. They pointed and fired upward. Laser beams shot past them, too close for comfort. Hold on, June called. The blue glow appeared again, surrounding all three of them. The laser beams that hit the glow bounced away harmlessly. Bayeol flew straight for the bunker entrance. She landed hard and Tae nearly fell off. Go back for Dr. Min, June told Bayeol as they dismounted. The dragon took off again, flying low over the battle. Tae and June watched as she reached Dr. Min's hiding place. But before the scientist could climb on, a new ship appeared in the sky above. It was much larger than the other raider ships. Its black hull swallowed the light around it. A beam shot from its underside, not at people, but at the ground near them. The earth shook. A crack opened in the colony's dome. They're trying to break the air seal, someone shouted. Alarms blared throughout the colony. Emergency doors began to close automatically to seal off sections. People ran for safety. Bayeol flew back toward June, Dr. Min clinging to her back. They barely made it through a closing door before it sealed shut. Inside the bunker, they found Director Kang and other colony leaders gathered around a table with maps and screens. They looked up as Bayeol landed. The boy and his dragon, Director Kang said. Just in time. We need your help. My help? June asked, surprised. Director Kang nodded grimly. Those raiders have technology we've never seen before. They disabled our defense systems in minutes. Their leader claims they'll stop the attack if we hand over the dragon. No. Tae stepped in front of his son and Bayeol. You can't give them what they want. Of course not, Director Kang agreed. But we need to know what we're dealing with. He turned to June. You have a connection with the dragon. You know things about them. Can you tell us why these raiders are willing to destroy an entire colony for one dragon? June looked at Bayeol. The dragon's golden eyes met his. After a moment, June spoke. Bayeol is special, he said. The raiders don't just want her crystal. They want her alive. A royal dragon can control the crystals they've already stolen. Control them how? Dr. Min asked. The crystals are like computers, June explained. But they need a royal dragon to program them. With Bayeol, they could build weapons that could destroy planets. The room fell silent. Director Kang's face grew pale. Then we must protect her at all costs, he finally said. A soldier burst into the room. Sir, the raiders have breached the east section. They're heading this way. Director Kang turned to his officers. Prepare the last defenses. We make our stand here. As everyone rushed to follow orders, June sat quietly with Bayeol. The dragon curled around him protectively. Tae watched his son stroke the dragon's scales. Dad? June said after a while. Bayeol wants to show you something. Show me what? The truth, June said. About why she chose me. Why she won't sleep without me. June held out his hand. Tae hesitated, then took it. Bayeol stretched her neck forward and touched her snout to their joined hands. The world disappeared. Tae found himself floating in space. Stars surrounded him. In the distance, he saw a beautiful planet with 3 suns and rings like Saturn. just as June had described. A voice spoke in his mind. It wasn't June's voice or even a human voice. It was deeper, older, filled with wisdom. "We have watched humans for centuries," the voice said, "waiting for the right time, the right person." Images flashed before Tay. Ancient dragons building great cities. Ships that sailed between stars. A terrible war that nearly destroyed them. "We made mistakes," the voice continued. "We built weapons too powerful to control. We fought among ourselves. In the end, most of us left this galaxy to start again elsewhere." The scene changed. Tay saw eggs being carefully placed in hidden locations throughout the galaxy. "We left our children behind. They would hatch when they found worthy partners. Humans with the right hearts and minds." Tay saw June as Biol saw him, his kindness glowing like a beacon. He saw his son fix a broken toy for another child. He saw June release a trapped bird from the repair shop. Small acts of compassion that meant everything to the watching dragons. "Your son has what we need," the voice explained. "Creativity, compassion, courage. The things our species lost in our quest for power." The vision faded. Tay found himself back in the bunker. Tears ran down his face. "Do you understand now, Dad?" June asked softly. Tay nodded. "She needs you to teach her how to be better than her ancestors. And I need her to help humans be better too," June said. "That's why we share dreams. We're learning from each other." A loud explosion shook the bunker. The raiders were getting closer. Director Kang approached them. "Whatever plan you have, now would be the time." June stood up. Fiol rose beside him, her head held high. The blue glow began to form around them both. "We do have a plan," June said, "but you might not like it." "At this point, I'll take anything," Director Kang said. June placed his hand on Biol's neck. "We need to go outside. To the center of the colony." "That's suicide," Tay protested. "Trust me, Dad," June said. His eyes glowed blue now, matching Biol's. "We know what we're doing." The truth was clear now. This wasn't just about protecting one dragon or one colony. It was about the future of two species who needed each other more than either had realized. The bunker door opened slowly. Smoke poured in from outside. The sounds of battle filled the air, shouting, explosions, and the high-pitched whine of energy weapons. June walked out first. Biol followed close behind him. The dragon had grown even larger in the past hours, as if the danger had sped up her development. Her wings now spanned the width of the street. Her blue scales glowed with inner light. Tay, Dr. Min, and Director Kang followed them. Colony guards formed a protective circle around the group. "The main plaza is 2 blocks ahead," Director Kang said. "It's completely exposed. The raiders will see you immediately." "That's what we want," June replied. His voice remained calm, but Tay could see the fear in his son's eyes. Despite the knowledge and power Biol had shared with him, June was still a 10-year-old boy facing great danger. Tay put his hand on his son's shoulder. "You don't have to do this." June looked up at his father. "Yes, I do, Dad. Biol showed me what will happen if the raiders get what they want. They'll hurt more dragons. They'll hurt more people. We have to stop them." They moved forward as a group. The guards kept their weapons ready. Twice they had to take cover as raider ships flew overhead, searchlights scanning the streets below. When they reached the edge of the main plaza, they stopped. The open space before them was a battlefield. Raiders fought with colony defenders. Buildings burned. The great dome that protected the colony had several cracks now. Emergency force fields glowed blue where they covered the breaks, keeping the air inside. Above it all hovered the massive Raider command ship. It was black and sleek, with weapons pointing in all directions. Smaller ships circled around it like insects around a queen. "That's their leadership," Director Kang said. "If we could disable it, the other raiders might retreat." June nodded. "That's our target." Biol lowered her body. June climbed onto her back, settling between her shoulder blades. The blue glow that had surrounded them before appeared again, stronger now. "Wait," Tay said. He reached up and took his son's hand. "I'm coming with you." June shook his head. "It's too dangerous, Dad. I'm your father," Tay said firmly. "Where you go, I go." After a moment, June nodded. He helped his father climb up behind him. Biol shifted her weight, adjusting to the extra person. "Whatever you're planning," Director Kang said, "we'll provide cover from here." June took a deep breath. "Ready, Dad?" Tay held tight to his son. "Ready?" Biol leaped forward into the plaza. Her powerful legs carried them across the open space in great bounds. Raiders spotted them immediately. Shouts went up. Weapons turned in their direction. "Hold on," June called. Biol's wings opened wide. With one mighty push, she launched into the air. The blue glow around them brightened, forming a shield. Laser blast hit the shield and bounced away harmlessly. They rose higher and higher. The wind rushed past them. Tay held tight to his son, trying not to look down. Below, the colony grew smaller. Above, the Raider command ship loomed large. Smaller ships moved to intercept them. They fired their weapons. Biol dodged with amazing grace, twisting and turning through the air. The blue shield protected them from shots they couldn't avoid. "They're following us," Tay shouted over the wind. "Good," June replied. "That's part of the plan." Biol flew straight for the command ship. As they got closer, Tay could see details: weapon ports, viewing windows, landing bays. The ship was enormous, at least 10 times larger than the colony's biggest building. A voice boomed from the ship, amplified to reach them. "Stop where you are. Surrender the dragon or we will destroy the entire colony." Biol didn't slow down. Instead, she flew faster, heading directly for the ship's center. "June, what are we doing?" Tay asked, his voice tight with fear. "Trust us, Dad," June said. The blue glow had spread to cover his entire body now. His eyes shone like stars. Biol knows what to do. They were close enough to the command ship now that Tay could see people moving inside through the viewing windows. Alarms blared from the ship. Weapon ports opened, all pointing at them. "Last warning." The voice boomed again. "Surrender now." Biol opened her mouth. Blue fire built up inside, swirling like a miniature galaxy. When she released it, the fire shot forward in a concentrated beam. It hit the command ship's hull and spread across it like water. The ship's weapons fired. Dozens of energy beams converged on Biol. The blue shield around them flared brightly. Tay felt heat penetrate through. June grunted in pain but held his position. "It's too much," Tay shouted. "We need to retreat." "Not yet," June said through gritted teeth. "Almost there." The blue fire from Biol's mouth continued to spread across the command ship. Where it touched, the metal changed. It didn't melt or burn, it transformed. The black surface turned crystal clear like glass. Inside the ship, raiders ran in panic. Their weapons stopped firing. The ship's engines sputtered and died. "Now, Biol," June shouted. The dragon roared. The sound was unlike anything Tay had ever heard. Not just loud, but somehow deep and meaningful. It carried power. The smaller raider ships around them stopped in midair. Their engines died too. June raised his hands. The blue energy gathered around his fingers. "Everyone hear me?" he called out. His voice, like Biol's roar, carried far beyond what should have been possible. It reached across the battlefield below and into the command ship before them. "The dragons are not your weapons," June's voice echoed. "They are not tools to be used and broken. They are the oldest and wisest species in this galaxy, and they have chosen humanity as their partners, not their masters or their killers." The command ship began to descend slowly. Not crashing, but landing in a controlled way. The smaller ships followed. "What did you do to them?" Tay asked in amazement. "Biol's fire isn't regular fire," June explained. "It can change things at their deepest level. She changed their technology. The crystals they stole from her brothers and sisters. She connected with them. She freed them. They flew back down to the plaza. Colony defenders watched in awe as the raider ships landed peacefully. The doors opened and raiders walked out with empty hands raised in surrender. Biol landed in the center of the plaza. June and Tay slid from her back. Director Kang and Dr. Min rushed to meet them. "What happened?" Director Kang demanded. "How did you defeat them?" Before June could answer, the leader of the raiders approached. He had removed his helmet. His face was lined with age and scars. He looked at Biol with a mixture of fear and wonder. "The dragon spoke to us," he said. "Inside our minds. She showed us on everything." "What do you mean, everything?" Dr. Min asked. "The history of her people, the future they want to build with humans." The raider leader shook his head in disbelief. "We thought the dragon crystals were just power sources. We didn't know they were alive, aware. We didn't know they were waiting for the right humans." June stepped forward. Though he was just a boy, everyone fell silent to listen. "Biol wants me to tell you the truth," he said. "The whole truth that she's been showing me in our dreams." He took a deep breath and continued. "Long ago, the stellar dragons ruled this part of the galaxy. They built amazing things. They could travel between stars in moments. They could create or destroy worlds. But their power made them proud. They fought among themselves. They nearly destroyed everything. Biol moved to stand beside June. Her golden eyes watched everyone carefully. Before the end, the wisest dragons made a plan, June said. Most of their kind left for another galaxy to start fresh. But they left eggs behind, special eggs that would only hatch when they found the right human partner. Someone who could teach them what they had forgotten: kindness, creativity, compassion. And the boy is such a partner, Director Kang asked, looking at June with new respect. June fixed a broken toy for a crying child, Tay said, remembering the vision Biol had shown him. That's why she chose him. Not because he was strong or smart, but because he was kind. June nodded. Biol refused to sleep without me because that's when dragons share knowledge. Every night she showed me her people's history, their mistakes, their hopes. And I showed her what it means to be human, our feelings, our dreams, our love for each other. Dr. Min stepped forward. What happens now? Now we build something new, June said. Biol says there are more eggs hidden throughout human space. More dragons waiting to find their human partners. Together we can do amazing things. The raider leader knelt before June and Biol. I have seen what you showed us, dragon. My men and I surrender. The crystals we took, we will return them. As the sun rose over New Sol Colony, humans and raiders worked together to repair the damage. The crystal parts of murdered dragons were gathered and placed in a special container. Biol breathed her blue fire over them, not to destroy but to honor and transform. That night, Tay tucked his son into bed. Biol curled up beside him, no longer fitting on the bed but with her head resting near June's pillow. I'm proud of you, Tay told his son. You were very brave today. June smiled sleepily. It wasn't just me, Dad, it was Biol too, and you. And everyone who helped. Tay stroked Biol's scales gently. The dragon made a soft purring sound. So this is why she refused to sleep without you, Tay said. She was preparing you for today. Not just for today, June said, his eyes already closing. For tomorrow too, and all the days after that. As June fell asleep, the familiar blue glow appeared around him and Biol. But this time Tay wasn't afraid. This time he understood. A dragon hatchling had refused to sleep without a human mechanic's son. And that simple act had changed the future for two species forever. The reason had shocked everyone indeed. Not because it was strange or frightening, but because it was so simple. Love, trust, and the willingness to learn from each other were more powerful than any weapon in the gal.